Well, hello there. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us. This is the KB. Michelle Green TV show. Make sure that you are subscribed, that you like and you share, because today we are going to bring you another amazing KBBU alumni student. Listen, if you are watching us for the first time, I want to let you know that we are a business university, and at Kingdom Builders Business University, what we do is educate our students on how to do business the right way. And today we have another special guest by the name of Miss Aisha Harrison. Welcome to the
Hi.
show.
Hi, Michelle. Hello, everyone.
Hey, 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 how you doing?
I am outstanding. How are you today?
I'm doing great, doing great. Thank you for asking. Listen, so today we are talking to Aisha, and she has a business called Imani's House of Real Estate. Come on through
Yay.
now. We're talking real estate. For those
Yes,
of
let's
you
buy
out
these
there,
homes.
yes, yes, yes. So we're not going to start at the end. We're going to save that for a little bit later. So you got to watch us all the way to the end, okay? All right. So let's talk, Imani. Let's talk, not Imani. Let's talk, Aisha. Let's talk about this whole process of being an entrepreneur. And before you came to KBBU, tell us a little bit about your journey, your story into entrepreneurship.
I've always wanted to be my own boss. We're going to go ahead and put that out there right now.
I
But
love it.
unfortunately, some cases it doesn't always start out that way because you don't have the proper tools and knowledge to get you there. So many times I've punched a clock from, the age of 16 years old, and 30 years
Oh.
later, I am still punching the clock. And that is only by choice because I just want to continue working since I've been in the workforce for so long now, and I am 8 years and some change from retirement. So we're just
Oh
going to go
my
ahead and hang on there. Yeah, nothing wrong with two incomes, right?
Congratulations. Yes, absolutely. It don't matter where it come from. I keep trying to tell people that all the time.
That's
They
right.
are so caught up on whether they have a job and a business or if they can go full time. Honey, it's not cracked up to what you think it is until you
Absolutely.
get there. Okay. So that's
Absolutely.
why
Yeah,
KBBU
sometimes
is it.
having funding for your business is key. So sometimes using your income to help fund the business to get started when you don't have the knowledge and the help of having that. And that's a lot of what I learned with KBBU.
Awesome. So as you were, you decided that at what age did you want to become an entrepreneur?
I'm going to say I've been a realtor now for 16 years. So about in my mid 20s is when I decided to start looking into real estate.
Love it, love
Hmm.
it. So you started looking into real estate. So you actually became a real estate agent. Tell us about that story and how that went.
So, funny story is before becoming a real estate agent, I used to just drive around and I used to love to look at new construction. I wanted to see what's the newest, what's the biggest, what's the baddest out here. And I would just drive around and go into new model homes and look at them. And then one day the light switch came on and just said, "Hey, get your license." So I got my license. I was 30 years old.
Oh,
I went to real estate school. I had no clue what I was getting into, okay, because I had no knowledge of what it took to become a realtor. Went got my license, took the state exam, which is very challenging, but you focus and you get it done, right? And then
okay.
after that, next thing I know, I'm working for a brokerage, and I was loving every moment of it. The first year of real estate, they do not expect you to have any closings. I had 12 homes under contract my first year. One
What?
was new construction. Yes.
It's
Yes.
amazing. Oh
Yes.
my
I had a
God.
lot of support and I'm very grateful for that.
Amen, honey. Yes, because I hear about the real estate agents and the realtors, the brokers even that don't have the support that they need. So that's a major thing as you're going through a process of entrepreneurship is having the support that you need. And even if you don't have anybody, just know that the support is coming if you stick to the dream, guys. Oh, that is
Absolutely.
awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
I know
you.
that was years ago, but still, that's a really big achievement for you to be 30 years old, deciding to go to get your license, and then having 12 closings at the very start of the process.
Yeah, yeah. I was stunned myself. I was not expecting that to happen. But it did. And I almost didn't know what to do with myself at first. And I'm like, this I can work this. And Michelle, this is when the economy was at its worst. This is when we had that first crash. Listen, I was selling homes for $12,000, three-bedroom homes. And
Whoa!
I was so excited about having my license, being a realtor, that I didn't for one second stop to think and say, I need to buy some of these homes for myself. I was too busy selling them all.
Oh
So
my gosh!
yes. So then it was really hard because there were a lot of short sales, and people hear the word short sales and they think they're short. And I would have to explain to the clients, no, they're not short. They're actually very long. So a short sale could take 6 to 12 months. But once I sat down and figured out how the system works, what the banks want, I started executing those things the first day of contracting with the client and got the appraisals done. And therefore, when it was time to close, instead of, I took a 12-month closing to 3 and 4 months.
Oh my God!
And the
That is
clients,
quick.
yeah, and the clients were able to walk away instead of having a foreclosure. They walked away with just bad credit, but a foreclosure is what really hurt. But we can deal with lates, right? But you don't want a foreclosure on your
Yeah.
home.
Right, right. Absolutely. So you were working in real estate, and then tell us about the process while you were there as a real estate agent. Even though you started out really well, were there any challenges along the way?
Yes. The challenge was I worked another job. I worked third shift. I worked
Oh,
third shift. So there were many sleepless nights. And when I say sleepless nights, I mean there were times I was up over 30 hours because I would work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I had clients who wanted to meet at 9 a.m. So that's enough time to leave, go home, get refreshed, and I'm rushing out the door to meet the client at 9 o'clock. Or if I have an
oh my God. Y'all hear this? I'm sorry.
appointment, um, then I would have to, go home and maybe get like an hour or two sleep and get dressed and back out the door again. And not to mention, a few years after starting, I decided to adopt a little girl, a newborn baby. So
Oh
not only
my
was I working
God.
2 jobs, yeah, I was still on third shift. I had a newborn baby and still selling real estate. So I had the best clients because a lot of them wanted me to bring her and they would babysit while we're looking at houses. So it was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that is huge. So you were in business, you were working a job, you didn't get that much sleep. You worked sometimes you said 30 hours,
Yes.
like basically straight. You were up.
Yes.
You didn't get any rest.
None.
Like,
I would be up, probably wake up in the afternoon, start searching houses, sending them to my clients because I may have had an appointment the next day. So then I send them the houses. They tell me what they want. I book them for the next day. And by this time, it's time for me to get ready for work. And I still exercise. So I would get my workout in. Then I would get ready, be at work at 11 or like 10:45, get off at 7 o'clock, run to the real estate office, get whatever I need, go home, shower, meet my client. And by the time I've shown, like we're driving all over the Charlotte and sometimes even into South Carolina. So I could be with clients for hours. And by the time I get home, I have enough time to eat and I'm back at work again. So yeah, I've had,
oh
and the back
my,
of my business card used to read, and some of my old clients, if they still have it, it would say work now, sleep later. That was my
oh my
motto.
goodness. So we just in our undergraduate class that we have for our students that are in the semester course that we offer, we just finished talking about managing our time. So that is so ironic that you're saying like you were working around the clock,
Around the clock.
okay,
Yeah.
And it's something sometimes that we have to do, especially as entrepreneurs and we're brand new and we're just starting out and we're trying to figure out like what is our new normal because we cannot just decide that we're just going to be an entrepreneur and everything's going to come to us. It's going to fall in our lap. It's going to be easy. It's going to be simple. And I do understand what you're saying. Like when you were adopting your daughter and you adopted your daughter, and so you had to bring her along to some of the showings. And I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing, and people used to laugh at me like, "Oh, she bringing her kids." Especially as a financial advisor, 19, had my first child at 20, second child at 23, and people used to laugh all the time because I was a single mom at that point. And I used to take my kids with me on my appointments to teach
Yep.
them about financial advice.
Yeah.
So it was so wild, but we just did what we had to do, is what we had to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to
Absolutely.
make it, if you want to make it happen, right? You
Yes.
gotta do what you gotta do. So
And the
I
funny
get it.
thing is it encourages them as well. Like she is a part of this. The company's named after her, but she is a part of this. And if I do real estate without her, we have to have a conversation because she's not happy about that. But she's in that stage right now where she can go, but I kind of have to limit her because she's a little too active and she want to be my boss. Yeah, she said it's my company. It has my name on it. So
Okay.
we have to redirect a little bit, but she learned the terminology, and I could literally, like, we could be driving and talking about real estate and she actually understands the process.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so
Yes.
cool. And that's
Yes.
how we got to teach them. Because sometimes when you think about being an entrepreneur, and especially if you have kids out there, you
Yes.
understand what I'm talking about. Kids watch and they soak up and absorb every single
Yes.
thing that we do. So if we're
Absolutely.
doing something that's positive like that, I mean, come on. That's a win-win right
All the
there.
way. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. You're raising them and you're raising them to be the best entrepreneur that there is. You're giving
Yes.
them a good work ethic. You're teaching them about the industry of whatever business you have. I mean,
Hmm.
like, hey, that's a win win all the way around. You can't get any better than that. And
You
I know,
cannot.
like, no, you can't. I mean, I remember like my girls, they were like, Ma, is another appointment. You got an appointment today. You got an appointment today. But they both will come back and tell me every single time, Ma, I'm so glad that you took us with you
Hmm.
to learn about finances, to learn about credit, and all the things that I talked about. They remember those things.
And
And now they are applying them in their life.
and that, I believe, should be a required course in high school. In
Oh
high
my God.
school, because the things that I see now as a realtor, and being able to walk my clients through things, and the stuff is so foreign to them, like, they're a lot of them don't know, and they
Really?
truly do depend on you to know. But I honestly believe that that is a class we need to teach our children about saving money. How much money does it take to purchase a home? Of course, when they're older, these things are going to change a little bit with cost of living, but at least they
Yes.
will have a grasp of what it is like and what it takes to be able to purchase these things.
Absolutely, yes. I totally agree. And I've been trying to get in these schools forever and a day. But sometimes I think that they don't really want the kids to know because once they become an adult, then if everybody's wealthy, then there's no high interest rates and there are no,
Absolutely.
over finance charges and all of the other stuff. But I totally agree with you. And yes, especially in today's society, it's like no one has taught anything and there's such a separation between the parent and the child. But we got to change that, y'all. That's why we're
Yes,
doing what we're doing here at Where Are They Now? So that we can learn something in the process of being an entrepreneur. That's what it's all
absolutely.
about. Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed. Yes, yes, yes. So continue on with your journey. So you are doing real estate, you're in the mode of doing it. You got some ups and downs. Tell us about some of the challenges that you face with entrepreneurship.
I'm gonna tell you honestly. The biggest challenge that I've had is time.
Time.
Yes. managing my time properly, because once I became a mom, I mean, honestly speaking, it took 4 years to truly calculate her into my time. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, and that, you don't realize. And I'm like, why am I always late? Why don't I have enough time? Why don't? And then I realized one day, I'm like, she is so involved. She was in ballet, she's in karate. I never sat down and calculated my time. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge. Make sure you keep up with your schedules. I was
Yeah.
behind on everything because I didn't write things down. I lost my calendars all the time. And that's just from ripping and running and not creating boundaries, not having a schedule, and not just blacking out time for myself for self care. Um,
Ooh.
so that is very important, making sure that you are balanced. If you are not balanced, your business will not be.
I hear you now. I hear you. Like I said, we just finished talking about time management. And one of the things that we shared in the class, you know what, I'm not gonna give all of y'all all the nuggets, but we did share, how to manage your personal life and your business life. And one of the things that we talked about is as entrepreneurs, we ourselves have to start taking care of our spirits, our minds, and our bodies. We
Yes.
have to take care of that ourselves because I know when I was coming along, just like you, it was like I was always just focus on, can I get to that next phone call? Can I get to that
Yep.
next conversation with the client, or if I'm trying to set up some type of service for the operation of the company, can I answer, can I ask a question? Can I get some new information about how I can make my process better? I was always so busy, I wouldn't even take a break to go to the bathroom. I would just continuously work. Sometimes I didn't even eat, and I think that time management is key because that's something that we all have an equal amount of is 24 hours.
Yes.
So, one of the things that I started doing, like you, not just planning a schedule, but actually looking at what am I wanting to put in the time slots of my day. And like you said, there was something else that you said about the journey of having a daughter or having children, for example. We don't really count all the costs as entrepreneurs. We don't really think about every single detail of what we
Yes.
have to do to complete this journey of being a boss. Okay. We don't really think about that. We don't think about, we just know right now we need to make some money. Okay.
All right.
We need to put some money away, but are we really conscious of the whole picture of being an entrepreneur and
Right.
how that affects not just our kids, but our spouses, the significant other, our parents, our siblings, our nieces, nephews, cousins, friends, how
Yes.
affect or impact the other relationships that we are in, and have we looked at not just for ourselves but for everybody else too.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Did you have any challenges along the way, relationship wise, or, you know, family
Yes.
members, friendships?
Yes.
Let's talk
And I have
about
come
it.
to realize, for me, honestly, single is better at this moment. Now, would I prefer to be in a relationship? Absolutely. But if you're going to be in a relationship while being an entrepreneur, you have to make sure the person who you are spending time with understand this. That you do have to put time into your business, and they can be a part and help support you, but they have to be supportive. They cannot be a selfish friend, because it's going to cause you to fail or fall short on what you're trying to do in accomplishing your goals.
Wow, wow, wow. So you had some challenges, I'm thinking. As it sounds like there were some issues of not being supportive, maybe not understanding. I know I've had those challenges as well, even as a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
and just having the understanding that when it's time for me to work, I actually have to work. I'm not just sitting at a desk and twiddling my thumbs. I'm actually exercising in the actual industry that I am called to, and I'm doing the work even though it looks or appears like I'm not doing that much.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really understand as entrepreneurs like that we are. conscious of what we got to do, even if it means that you might catch us at that moment where we're taking a break.
Right. And you get
Right.
that
And you
break.
get that break. Like we might be like, oh my God, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and scroll through social media. And then that's when they walk in and they're like, oh, so you ain't got nothing to do. Come here. And I want to show you something, or I want to talk to you about something. And it's like it throws you off. So
Completely.
completely. Yes. Have you ever had those kind of distractions? Like
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
worst. It's
I
the
have
worst.
a
I
one
have
who
a
liked to
one who
pop
liked
up
to
and
pop up and
surprise me. And I'm
surprise
like,
me. And I'm
dude,
like,
I'm
dude,
like
I'm
literally
like
doing
literally
something
doing
right
something
now.
right now.
You throw the
You
whole
throw the
momentum
whole
off.
momentum off. Okay? Because when you're focused and you're in your zone, you're literally in your zone, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that is really the worst for real. But nevertheless, you push through. So you how many years have you actually been in real estate?
I have
I
been
have
a
been a
realtor for
realtor for
16
16
years.
years. Whoa, that's a
Yes.
long time, Aisha.
Yes.
Yes, that is a long time, honey. So, in 16 years and being in that industry, what is it that you love so much about it?
There are two
There are
things.
two things.
I love
I
when my
love when my
clients find the
clients find the
home.
home.
I
I
never
never
settle, and I
settle,
don't
and
allow
I
them
don't
to
allow them
settle
to
for what
settle
they
for
want.
what they want.
I will go
I
as
will
long
go
as
as
I
long
have
as I
to,
have
and we'll
to,
look at
and
as
we'll look
many
at as
houses
many
as need
houses as
to
need
until
to
they find
until they
exactly
find
what they
exactly
want.
what they want.
And when they
And
walk
when
in
they
that
walk in
door
that door
and their
and
faces
their
light
faces
up,
light up,
I already
I
know. I
already
have
know.
nothing
I
to
have
say. I
nothing to
just
say.
let
I
them
just
tour
let
the
them tour
home,
the home
and
and
I just sit
I
back
just
and
sit
let them
back and
take it
let them
all
take it
in.
all in. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my
Yes.
God. Yes. Yeah, you were inspiring me because I'm like, let me go look at some houses. Now you're located in Charlotte, North Carolina, but you
Yes.
also service what other areas?
Also, I'm
Also,
licensed in
I'm
South
licensed in
Carolina
South
as well.
Carolina as
So
well.
I'll go
So
all the way to
all the way to
Chester, South
Chester, South
Carolina. I've gone to
Carolina. I've gone to
Columbia
Columbia
before, but
before, but uh,
didn't get many
didn't get many
sales there. So
sales
I just
there,
kind
so
of
I just
focus
kind of
up here.
focus
But if
up
I
here.
have
But if
a
I have a
client or someone
client or
interested
someone
in
interested
Columbia,
in
yes, I
Columbia,
will
yes, I will
assist. And
assist,
that will
and
be
that
the
will be
furthest
the
I'll go
furthest
down
I'll go
into
down
South
into South
Carolina.
Carolina. Got it, got it. Awesome. All right. If you're in those areas, listen, you can hit her up. Her information is on the screen. And we are going to now talk about your journey of coming into KBBU. So we met through another realtor who is now selling commercial real estate. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes. Shout out to Miss Kimberly Bird. Hey,
Hey,
girl.
Kim.
All right. But we wanted to, we connected through her, and we were having an event in North Carolina through a mutual friend of mine. And we had this event, and I don't know if I asked you or Kim told me that you were in North Carolina and you could be the realtor for the credit repair event or not, but I forgot how it happened. But we met there and we did a seminar together.
Yes, we
How was
did.
Yes, that? We did. How was that experience for you?
It was
You know,
great
it was
because it was my
it
first
was my
ever
first ever
seminar.
seminar.
And
Really? And
yes,
yes, that.
I was
I was
nervous. I didn't
nervous. I
know
didn't
what to
know
do,
what
but you
to
know
do,
what?
but you know what?
Michelle,
Honestly,
you picked
Michelle,
it
you
off,
picked
and
it
when you
off, and
got
when you
the
got
show
the
rolling,
show
we just
rolling,
kept
we
going
just
with
kept
it.
going with it.
Because your
Because your
information is so
information is so
important for
important
anyone
for
purchasing
anyone
a home,
purchasing
so
a
it just
home. So
fed
it
right
just fed
into
right
it.
into
I
it.
knew
I
what
knew
I needed
what
to
I
talk about
needed
as
to
far
talk
as
about as far as
numbers
numbers
and
and
what you need to
what you
purchase
need
a
to purchase
home.
a home.
But the credit
But the
part
credit
of it is
part of
something
it
that
is something
I'm
that
not a
I'm
part of.
not
I
a
know what
part
your
of. I know what your
support should be
support should be
around, but as
around,
far
but as
as
far as
what you need to do
what you
to
need to
get
do to
there,
get there,
that was
that
key
was key
to
to
everyone that was
everyone
there.
that was there. Yes, yes, and it's key to home ownership, period. So thank
Yes.
you. Yes. That is so good. And you did an amazing job, honey. I never
Thank
knew
you.
that Thank you. That was your first seminar. I
Yes.
really did not know that. Wow. Wow. Like you did that like it was butter rolling off the
Oh,
back. Okay.
thank you.
Thank
In the
you. In
background
the
that I was
background that I was
shaking.
shaking. I didn't know. Nobody knew. I promise you. If you
Thank
hadn't
you.
said that, we would not have known. For real, you did an amazing job. So from there, we kind of stayed connected. I would send you clients, you would send me clients, and we
Yes.
just sped up to, I believe it was the year of 2021 that you started KBBU.
I believe
I
it
believe it
was.
was. 2021. So I think it was the summer fall of 2021 when you came to our KBBU course.
Mm-hmm.
And we had only started doing the virtual online courses for about a
Yes.
year. Yep. And so you came to KBBU, and I know you all had a really big class now. So
We
that was
did.
we did. Yeah, August through I think it was January or February. We were going 6 months at that time instead of 5 months in the fall. So, what was your experience like coming into the actual courses?
It was great.
It was great.
I love
I
the
love
energy.
the
Let's say
energy.
that
Let's
first
say
of
that
all.
first of
Michelle,
all.
you're just
Michelle, you're just
electrifying, okay?
electrifying, okay?
Getting to know
Thank
everyone,
you.
and I love
And
how
I
you
love how
partnered
you
us with
partnered
other
us with
people that
other
we
people
did
that
not
we did
know,
not
and it
know.
kind of give you
It
an
kind of give you an
opportunity to pick the
opportunity to
brains of
pick the
others to
brains of
see how
others to
they're
see how
starting
they're
or running
starting
their
or running their
business.
business.
Now, I want to
Now, I
say
want to say
this
this
because this is
because
important
this is
for those
important
who
for
have been
those
in
who have
business
been in
already.
business already.
And I
And I
apologize. I don't know where
apologize.
this
I don't know
echo
where
is
this
coming
echo is
from. If
coming
you, I don't
from.
know if
If
you
you,
hear
I
it
don't
or
know if
not,
you hear it or not,
but
but
even though you're
even
in
though you're
business,
in
and
business, and
I was a
I was a
realtor
realtor
for
for
um
um,
9 or 10, no, a little longer
no,
than
a
that,
little
about
longer than
10
that, about
years,
10
10 to 12
years, 10 to
years
12 years
before I
before
came to
I came to
KBBU.
KBBU. Okay.
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 But you never
But
know
you never
enough.
know enough.
I started my
I
business
started my
on my
business on
own,
my own,
but there were
but
so
there were
many
so
steps
many
that I
steps that I
skipped.
skipped.
And once
And
going through
once
your
going
class,
through
I'm
your
like,
class, I'm
oh,
like,
I could
oh,
have done
I could have
this,
done
or I
this,
can do
or I
that.
can
And
do
there were
that.
some
And
things
there
I
were
had
some
to go
things
back
I had
and
to go
do
back and do
that were very
that were
helpful.
very helpful.
So even
So
if
even
you've
if
been in
you've been in
business, this is
business,
still a
this is
great
still a
thing to
great
do
thing to
because
do
there's
because
so
there's
much
so
to
much to
learn.
learn. Oh my goodness. So back then we were doing the same courses that we're doing today. It was a little different though. Business setup, which teaches you how to make sure your business is formed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You got your right registration, talked about copyrights and trademarks and contract agreements. Then we went into like our funding. I think it was just credit and funding at the time, but we added money to it so we could talk about taxes and bank accounts and different
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then we went into management. Like I just said, we just finished the management course with the current class. And then the last class was like marketing and media, but we've now added sales to that class. So that's it's amazing how we've grown.
Yes.
Yes. Just thinking back, like you learned so much in those courses. And when you came out of KBBU, you were able to get your certificate and you were able, did you get a t-shirt? It should have
I
been a
don't
t-shirt.
think I
I
had a
don't think I had a
t-shirt. Yeah, I didn't get a
t-shirt. Yeah, I
t-shirt.
didn't get a t-shirt. You
It's
didn't get a
okay.
t-shirt?
This
My
is what's
bad. This is
important.
what's
What I
important. What
learned. I
I
love the
learned. I
t-shirt
love the
and I'll get
t-shirt and
one.
I'll get
But
one.
what
But
you put
what you
here
put here
is
is
priceless.
priceless. Oh my goodness. So what would you say that for someone that would be considering coming to the KBU courses, undergrad courses? What would you say about what you took away from taking our classes?
One of the
One of the
biggest things
biggest things
that I had
that
already
I had
done
already
because I
done because
had
I
moved too
had moved
fast.
too fast.
Do not
Do
put
not put
business
business
credit
credit
in your
in your
personal
personal
name.
name. Oh,
It is so
it is so
important. And as
important.
a
And as a
realtor,
realtor,
I know how
I know
much this
how
can
much this
damage
can
you
damage
and
you
keeping
and
you
keeping
from being
you
able to
from
get
being able to
things for
get
your
things for
personal
your
life or
personal
for your
life or for
family
your
because you've
family
maxed
because
out
you've
your
maxed out your
income
income
under your
under
personal
your
name
personal name
before your
before your
business.
business.
So that
So
was key
that
to
was key
me.
to me.
And
And
building your business
building your
credit
business
will get you
credit
a
will get
long
you a
way.
long
And
way.
Michelle,
And
the tips
Michelle, the
that you
tips that
gave
you gave
are
are
extremely helpful.
extremely helpful. Oh, thank you so
Yes,
much. Yes,
you're
thank you so
welcome.
you're welcome. Much. Yeah, so if you're interested and you're watching this for the first time, we are Kingdom Builders Business University. We help entrepreneurs to do business the right way. So if you don't have a mentor or business coach, or even if you do, there's so much more that you can learn by joining our courses. The next course is coming up in August on the 20th of 2025. And if you are already a KBBU alumni, make sure that you get into our VIP Masters class. That's right, Ish. That's for you too. Coming
Yes,
up,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am. August the 30th of 2025, we will be having our second semester VIP Masters. And Masters is nothing like undergraduate, let me tell you. But you do still get a certificate and you learn how to operate your business on a 6 and 7 figure, even an 8 figure level. So thank you again for sharing that, Aisha. That is amazing. So
Thank
now
you.
you're welcome. So now we're looking at where are you now? What's going on in your life right now?
Well, I've
Well, I've
relocated my
relocated
office.
my
I'm
office.
still in
I'm
Mount
still
Holly,
in Mount
North
Holly,
Carolina,
North
but I'm
Carolina,
on
but
the
I'm on
main
the
street
main
now
street
versus
now
being
versus
tucked in the
being tucked in
corner.
the corner.
So I
So
want to be
I want to
seen,
be
right?
seen,
I take
right?
my
I
real
take my
estate
real
sign, I
estate
stick it
sign,
out
I
the
stick it
front door
out the
when I'm in
front
the
door when I'm in
office.
the
I see
office.
people
I see
driving,
people
they'll snap a
driving, they'll
picture of
snap
the
a picture
sign.
of the
So if they
sign.
can't
So
do
if
it
they
now, they
can't
can
do it
probably
now, they can
later,
probably
right?
later, right?
Um,
Right.
Still looking into
Still
doing
looking
more
into doing more
advertising.
advertising.
That's my key
That's my
thing right
key
now
thing right
because I've
now because
always
I've always
been
been
more of a
more of a
referral based
referral based
realtor. And I
realtor.
like
And
that
I
because
like
it's a
that
little
because
more
it's a little more
personable to me.
personable to
But
me.
now we're
But
going to
now we're going
expand
to
a little bit.
expand a little bit.
I have an
I have
agent.
an
I have one
agent. I
agent
have
who
one
works under
agent who
me at the
works under
time,
me
and
at
I'm
the
looking
time,
to
and I'm
hire
looking to
maybe
hire maybe
another
another
two.
two.
But I just want to
But I just want to
slowly walk
slowly
into
walk
it.
into it.
So I'm
So
careful
I'm
with the
careful with the
process as
process
being a
as
business
being a business
owner and
owner
making sure that
and making
everyone
sure
is
that everyone
comfortable
is
who's
comfortable
involved.
who's involved. Wow, wow, that is amazing. So you went from starting out in real estate, you know, a few years. You said 10 years before you got to KBBU. You came through KBBU. You learned a lot of things there. And then now here you are hiring your own team,
My own
girl. That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am. Because
Yes.
we learned at KBBU, you gotta have a team. You cannot do business alone,
No,
y'all. No. You
it's
cannot do
impossible.
it. Yes, like you're gonna need some help. So you have to position your business so that you can bring some new people in. Because what I think about new people coming into your business is that it will double or triple your income. Because now
Absolutely.
you can delegate. You can take the
Hmm.
weight off your shoulders of somebody else, doing what it is that you were doing, and you were so focused on that now you don't have to focus on that. You can do something else.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes. Tell us about how your mindset changed and how your income changed, because that's what everybody want to know. You know, from back then, what was your state of mind and like an average of income, and then like where are you now with everything?
So,
So,
still working the
still
second
working the
job
second
takes a
job
lot of
takes a lot
time.
of
So I'm
time. So
still
I'm
building a
still
little
building
more,
a
if that
little
makes
more, if that
sense.
makes sense.
I think
Yeah.
my
My
biggest gain,
biggest
once
gain,
again,
once
is
again, is
managing my
managing
time,
my
which is giving
time,
me
which
the
is giving me the
opportunity to open my
opportunity to
doors
open my
and
doors
increase
and
more.
increase more.
Now, yes,
Now,
income
yes,
has
income
increased.
has
Don't get me
increased. Don't
wrong
get me
there.
wrong
And
there.
it's opened
And
my
it's opened
mind
my
to looking at
mind to
other
looking at other
possibilities as far
possibilities
as
as far as
grant funding
grant
for a real
funding
estate
for a real
company. I would have
estate
never
company. I
thought
would have
about
never
it.
thought about it.
So definitely one
Yes.
of the things
Definitely
I'm
one of the
looking
things
into
I'm looking
now
into
about,
now
that's
about.
right,
That's right.
looking into
Looking
grants
into
to
grants
help
to help
me with
me with
advertisements.
advertisements. Um,
But
but
I'm getting
I'm
more
getting more
exposure. I will
exposure.
say
I will
that.
say that.
And that's just
And
by
that's just
listening to
by
some of the
listening to
tips
some
some
of
of
the
the
tips
tips
that
and
you
just kind
gave
of
and
putting
just kind
yourself
of putting
out there.
yourself out there. I love it. I love it. So, do you have a goal of being a 7 or 8 figure income earner?
I do.
I do.
I am
I am
looking at
looking
moving
at
myself
moving
up
myself up
to
to
multi-million dollar
multi-million dollar
residences.
residences.
So I've
So
always
I've
focused
always
on,
focused on,
and which I
and
don't
which I
want to
don't
sway
want to sway
anyone who
anyone
does not
who does
have
not have
a lot of
a
money,
lot
because
of
I'm
money,
here for
because I'm here for
everyone.
everyone.
And that was one of
And
my
that was one of my
startups, was helping
startups, was
people who
helping people
needed
who
help, and
needed
I
help.
still
And
that's my
that's
passion. I
my passion.
still
I still
enjoy doing that.
enjoy doing that.
But yes, I
But
do
yes,
want to
I
push
do
my
want to push my
clientele up and
clientele
move a
up
little
and move
forward
a
with
little
real
forward
estate.
with real
Just
estate.
because I've been
Just
in the
because I've been
business,
in the
I know
business,
the
I
job,
know the
and
job,
it's just
and
time to
it's
do
just
it.
time to do it. I love it. I love it. We should always have a goal as entrepreneurs of, reaching for something that is beyond what we think we can do. You know,
Yes.
that allows us to really stretch ourselves, and it always allows us to grow and expand. And that's what life is all about. as far as entrepreneurship and in our personal life. We got to gain some new knowledge so we can grow, and we got to set some goals that scare us. That's what my oldest
Absolutely.
daughter always says. We got to set some goals that, we are actually afraid of sometimes so
Yes.
that we can really grow and expand and increase in what it is that we do. Well, that is so
Absolutely.
awesome. I am
Thank
so
you.
happy to hear this is where you are today. Come on,
Yes.
girl. You have really made some tremendous growth. I am so proud of you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being a part of KBBU. And we also know that you came through the VIP Masters class when we first started in
Yes.
2020. Was it 2023? 2024?
Yeah, it's
2024.
2020. Yeah. Yeah. It was the first one, right?
It was the very first one.
Yes.
So, what was that VIP Masters class like for you?
That was great because we were able, it was focusing in your business. Like, okay, now you have your business. Here are the things that you need to help grow your business, help expand your business. So lots of information was given with that. I don't want to give it all away, but there was lots of information given to that and a lot of encouragement. And I think that's where that time management piece really came in for me, was during that VIP Masters class, because that was my biggest weakness.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Not that you had challenge with it, but I love that you learned some time management. You realized like, oh my God, like I really got to get this together.
Yes, yes,
Yes, because we are action packed in the masters. It's totally different from the undergrad. You're learning in undergrad and you're gaining understanding, but in that master's class, it's time to put the rubber to the road, as they say.
yes.
It's time to make it happen. So we are producing 6 and 7 and 8 figure earners in that VIP Masters class. If you're interested, you can go to www.kbbullc.com, and will get you signed up for class, for private sessions, for whatever we need to get you signed up for. But yes, this is so amazing. So
Yeah.
how can people get in touch with you? Tell us a little bit about the process of what they would go through if they have you as their real estate agent.
Okay. So, the first step is credit and finances, right? We
All
want to make
right.
sure you are financially ready, and we want to make sure you are credit worthy. So I'm going to say my go-to for credit is Michelle, going through her kingdom that builders credit. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I had a client that she sent to me, and she got them where they needed to be, and they went full speed ahead. I mean, no hiccups whatsoever. So once we know that you're credit worthy, which is usually 620, there are some lenders that may go a little lower, but that's going to put you in a higher risk category, which means your interest rate may be a little higher, or you may not be offered the better promotions that are out there. So
Okay.
it's better, the higher your score, the better. So once you
Yes.
get the credit score, you get approved, your pre-approval, and then we find out exactly what you want in your home. I do a search for you, new construction, pre-existing homes, whatever you're looking for, and we hit the pavement running. I work as fast
Woo.
as you want. I can slow it down if it's too much for you. But we will find you a home, get you on a contract, and then next thing you know, you're receiving your keys.
So are you saying that the only thing they need to do is make sure they got their credit right? Also, once they do that, they come to you, you find the home, and then what is that contract process like? For someone who doesn't know anything about home buying, what advice would you say? Like, what does that look like? Is it something that they should be afraid of, or is it something that is like a easy process?
If you have, and I'm going to be very clear, if you have the right realtor, this is going to be like butter, okay? And you have to listen, because that's one of the key things, that we have to all be able to work together. So I am going to say you would need a minimum of $15,000, because you're going to want,
$15,000.
and that's on the low end, okay? But
Oh,
a minimum of, because you're going to have to pay what we call, well, let me rephrase that from have to, because there are fees. You have a due diligence fee, You have an
You
earnest
have an
money
earnest money
deposit that
deposit
are
that
asked
are
for
asked for
in the
in the
you put in the
you put in the
contract.
contract.
That is
Okay.
That is
negotiable.
negotiable.
I have
I
seen as
have
low as
seen as
five
low
hundred
as five
dollars
hundred
taken.
dollars
You know
taken.
that the
You know
seller
that
will
the seller
accept.
will accept.
But I have
But I have
seen
seen
some
some
companies or
companies
some
or
sellers
some
wanting
sellers
a
wanting a
$20,000
$20,000
deposit. It
deposit.
just
Oh my
It
God.
just
depends
depends
on
on
what your
what
range
your
is
range
in the
is in the
purchase.
purchase.
Okay,
Got it.
because if you're
Because
buying
if
a
you're buying
million
a
dollar
million
home, you're
dollar
not going to
home, you're not going to
offer
offer
$500 earnest money
$500 earnest
deposit. I
money.
mean, you
No.
can,
You
but the
can, but the
likelihood of it
likelihood
being
of it being
accepted is very
accepted is
rare.
very rare.
Right. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And then you're going to
And then
have to
you're going to
look
have
at,
to
do
look
I
at,
have
do
down
I have
payment?
down
You know,
payment?
if you
You
do a
know, if you do a
FHA
FHA
loan, you're
loan,
looking at
you're looking at
3.5%.
3.5%.
If you do
If you do
conventional, they have
conventional,
some
they have
specials
some
where they're
specials where they're
100%. And
100%.
then you have
And then
some
you
where you
have
have to
some where
pay
you have to pay
20%.
20%.
Um,
Mhm.
are there any
Are there
first
any
time home
first
buyer
time home buyer
programs that you can
programs
get
that you can
assistance
get
from?
assistance
Well,
from?
that can come
Well,
up.
that
They
can
may
come up.
have
They may
those, and you
have
may
those,
not
and you
have
may
a
not
down
have a
payment.
down
But
payment.
if they
But
don't
if they
have
don't
that
have
program,
that
then you're
program, then you're
responsible for
responsible for
carrying that down
carrying that
payment.
down
And
payment.
then you also
And then
have
you also
closing
have
costs,
closing costs,
which is
which
typically
is
3 to
typically 3 to
5% of the
5%
sale of the
of the
home.
sale of the home.
So
Got it.
So
sometimes the seller
sometimes
will
the
help
seller
pay,
will help pay,
sometimes they
sometimes
won't.
they
And if
won't.
there are
And if there
programs
are
for that,
programs for
then you could
that,
get
then you could
assistance
get
with that as
assistance
well.
with that as
But
well.
that's why you
But
need to
that's why you
have it.
need
I'm
to
saying
have it. I'm saying
15,000 is very
15,000 is
little,
very little,
but
but
I've seen it
I've seen
happen
it
with that
happen
amount.
with
It
that
can
amount. It
happen,
can
but you
happen,
just
but you
have to
just have to
know where
know
to look
where to look
and find
and
what
find
programs are
what
suitable to
programs are
help you.
suitable to help you.
Oh my goodness, that's went up since I purchased.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, $15,000. So if you got a 401k or you got some money in an investment, hey, you can pull it out for home purchasing. I don't know if you
Absolutely.
guys knew that, but that's definitely a way that you can fund your home if you don't qualify for down payment assistance or any closing cost assistance. That is
Absolutely.
so cool. So once you go through that process, you get your contract. Is there an appraisal? What has to happen in order for a person to close?
So once you
So
go under
once you go under
contract, you definitely
contract, you
want to get
definitely
what's
want to get
called
what's
an
called an
inspection.
inspection.
There are
Mhm.
several
There are
inspections
several
you can get.
inspections you
There's
can
the
get.
home
There's the home
inspection.
inspection.
You can,
You can I
recommend a
recommend
radon
a radon
test.
test.
If the home
If
was
the
built
home was
before
built before
1978, you want to get
1978,
a
you want to get
lead
a
based
lead
paint
based
test to
paint
make
test
sure,
to make
back
sure,
in the
back in the
day, there
day,
was lead
there
in
was
that
lead
paint.
in that paint.
That's
So,
right.
and we know that
And
could
we know
cause some
that could
huge
cause some
health
huge health
issues.
issues.
Right, right.
And other
And
things that
other
you want
things
to
that
check
you
for:
want to check for
asbestos, making
asbestos,
sure
making sure
those items are
those
not in
items
there.
are
We
not in
know
there. We know
asbestos caused
asbestos cause
cancer at some
cancer at
point
some
because it
point
was
Oh my
because
used.
it was
Yeah.
used.
goodness.
Yeah.
So,
So
multiple tests
multiple
that
tests that
I highly
I highly
recommend.
recommend.
Some
Some
buyers do
buyers
not want to
do
pay
not
for
want to
them. They
pay
could
for them. They
range
could range,
from, I'll say,
I'll
four
say,
fifty to about a
450 to
thousand
about a
dollars,
thousand
depending
dollars,
on the
depending
square
on the
footage of the
square footage of
home.
the home.
Hmm.
Um,
But
but
it's something
it's
that you should
something that you
not
should not
walk away from.
walk
I say
away from. I
always
say
choose to do
always
those,
choose
so
to do
you know
those,
what's
so you
going
know
on
what's
in that
going
house
on in that
before
house
moving
before
in.
moving in.
Always do an inspection is what you're saying. Always
Absolutely.
get that inspection completed.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And then what's next?
So after you
So
get your
after you get your
inspection, you're going to
inspection,
need
you're
to
going to
have an
need to have
appraisal
an appraisal
also.
also.
The appraisal
The
is ordered
appraisal is
by the
ordered by
bank,
the
but
bank,
it's
but
paid
it's
for by
paid for
you.
by you.
There are
So
some.
wait,
There are some.
Uh-huh.
what's the difference between an inspection and an appraisal?
I look at the
I look at the
inspection
inspection
as
as
a
a
dissection of the
dissection
home.
of the home.
Okay.
So you're going to
So
have an
you're going to
inspector
have an
come in.
inspector
They're going
come
to
in.
check
They're
the
going to check the
outlets. They're going to
outlets. They're
check
going
the
to check the
stove, the
stove, the
microwave,
microwave,
anything that's
anything
in that
that's in
home
that
that
home
works.
that
They're going to
works. They're
check
going to
it.
check it.
Um,
Um,
they're going to make sure
they're
the
going to make sure
plumbing
the
is
plumbing is
okay. Now
okay. Now
understand, if they
understand if
can't
they
see
can't
it,
see it,
they can't
they
inspect
can't
it.
inspect
And what
it.
I mean
And
by
what I
that
mean
is
by
they can
that
turn
is
the
they can
water
turn the
on and make
water
sure the
on and
water
make sure the
pressure
water
is
pressure is
accurate. But
accurate, but
they can't go
they
in there
can't
and
go in
check
there
the
and check the
plumbing in the
plumbing in the
walls. But they
walls,
can
but
check the
they can
pressure
check the
of the water,
pressure of
make
the
sure
water,
it's running the way
it's
it's
running the way
supposed
it's
to.
supposed to.
Make sure the
Make sure
electrical
the electrical
wires are not
wires
switched,
are
all
not
sorts
switched,
of
all
things like
sorts of
that. But
things
it's
like
like the
that. But it's like
function
the
of the
function
home.
of the home.
Wow. Okay. And then the appraisal, what do they do?
The
The
appraiser looks
appraiser
at the
looks at the
value of the
value
home.
of the home.
So it's going they're going to go and
they're going to go and
compare the
compare
home
the
that you're
home that you're
purchasing to the
purchasing
homes
to
that
the
have
homes
sold
that have
recently
sold
in the
recently in
area.
the area.
So that's what they're
So
going to
that's what
handle.
they're
They're
going
going
to
to say,
handle. They're
"Hey,
going to say,
Michelle, your
"Hey,
house
Michelle,
is
your house
worth
is worth
X amount of
X
money.
amount of
So
money.
if
So
your
if your
home is
home is
priced too
priced
high,
too high,
then you're going to
then
have
you're
to
going to
either,
have
as
to
a
either, as a
seller, bring
seller,
that
bring
price
that
down,
price down,
or the buyer's
or
going
the
to have to
buyer's
come
going to
out
have to
of
come
pocket
out
and
of
pay the
pocket and pay the
difference."
difference.
Ooh,
Yeah,
so it
Yeah,
could be more than 15,000 minimum.
exactly.
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
Prices have really changed.
They
Really
have.
they
changed.
have.
And we were in
And
a
we were in
really
a
wonky
really
state
wonky
for a
state
while
for a
because we
while
had
because
so
we
many
had
people
so many
paying
people paying
over
over
when the interest
when the
rates are
interest
really
rates
low.
are really
So
low.
the
So the
market shot
market
up, and a
shot
lot of
up, and a
people
lot
who
of
were able
people
to
who were
purchase
able to
these
purchase these
homes
homes
easily
easily
were now kind
were
of in a
now kind of
bind
in a
because they
bind
didn't have
because
an
they didn't
extra
have
thirty
an extra
thousand dollars
$30,000
to put
Yeah.
toward the home. Yeah, so it increased
so
the
it increased the
values
values
practically everywhere, at
practically
least here in
everywhere, at least here
Charlotte.
in
I
Charlotte.
know I can
I
speak
knew I can
of,
speak of,
but
but
definitely made a
definitely
difference
made a
on how
difference
real
on how
estate
real estate
functioned after
functioned
all of
I
that.
after all of
imagine.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine. So when we get to the close, is there anything that they need to prepare for?
Well,
Well,
I always say
I
prepare
always
for
say prepare
everything.
for everything.
Um,
Um,
do not
do not
discredit yourself,
discredit yourself
because
because
oftentimes we
oftentimes
don't
we don't
understand how
understand how
valuable
valuable
we are,
we are,
the work
the
that we've
work
put
that we've
in,
put
and
in,
so many
and
people
so many
don't
people
purchase
don't
homes
purchase
because they're
homes because
afraid of
they're
it and they
afraid of it
don't
and
think
they
they're
don't think
ready.
they're ready.
Wow.
Let the
Let the
experts make that
experts make that
decision.
decision.
Okay,
Okay,
we have
we
lenders
have
for a
lenders for
reason.
a reason.
We have
We
people who
have
help you
people
with
who
your
help you with
credit
your
for a
credit
reason.
for a reason.
We have
We
realtors
have
for a
realtors
reason.
for a reason.
Come to us.
Come to
Don't
us.
stop
Don't
yourself
stop
from moving
yourself from
forward,
moving
and
forward
let us
and
help
let us
you.
help
And
you.
if you're
And
not
if you're
quite
not
there,
quite
guess
there,
what?
guess what?
It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll get you
We'll
there.
get you there.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. So y'all heard her. She done gave you the whole layout of where she is now and how to get there with buying a home, with selling a home. Listen, if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way up to Chester, she said, or Columbia, listen, give her a call. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
how can they reach out to you at Imani's House of Real Estate? How can they contact you?
Call me on my
Call
cell
me on my
phone is the
cell phone is
best,
the best.
or you can even
Or you can
text me.
even
My
text
cell
me.
phone
My
number
cell phone
is
number is 704 589
704-589-0387.
0387.
And Michelle,
And
I want to
Michelle, I
mention
want to
one more
mention one
thing
more thing
because I think this
Sure.
because
is
I think this
important
is
for our
important
public
for our
servants,
public
okay?
servants, okay?
Sure.
When I say
When I
sometimes
say
there are
sometimes there are
specials,
specials,
I am
I am
a
a
Homes for
Homes
Heroes
for
realtor.
Heroes realtor.
Homes for
So
Heroes. Okay.
if you are in
If
law
you are in law
enforcement,
enforcement,
Hmm.
medical field,
medical field,
school teacher,
school teacher,
Really?
reach out
reach out
because
because
let's say you
let's say
purchase a
you purchase
home.
a home.
Going with
Going with
Homes for
Homes for
Heroes,
Heroes,
30% of
30%
whatever
of
I make
whatever
on
I
the
make on the
sale
sale
goes to Homes for
goes to Homes for
Heroes.
Heroes.
They keep a
Oh my
very
A
goodness.
small
very small
portion, and that
portion, and
small
that
portion
small
is to help a
portion
hero
a
in need.
hero in need.
Okay,
Okay,
the remainder
the
come to
remainder
you.
come to you.
That
So
is
So
huge. I
yes,
love
yes,
it.
at the most
the
I've
most
given out, I
given out,
believe,
I
was a
believe,
little
was a
over
little
five
over
thousand
five
dollars for
thousand
one
dollars for
person.
one person.
So
My
I
yeah,
goodness.
these are
yeah,
not
these are
small
not
checks. I
small
mean, this
checks.
is
I mean, this
something
is something
I've had
I've
people
had people
finance.
finance.
Furnish their
Furnish their
entire
entire
a
a
little moving
little
room
moving
area
room
with the
area
Homes for
with the Homes
Heroes
for
funds.
Heroes
You can
funds.
keep
You
it, you
can
can go
keep it, you can go
shopping, you can put it
shopping, you
towards
can
your
put it
house.
towards your
Some people's
house.
like,
Some
I'm just
people's
gonna
like,
pay
I'm
my
just gonna
first
pay
few
my first few
mortgages with this.
mortgages with this.
And
And they,
it's
it's
for
for
you.
you.
So, and it's just a way
Yes.
for us to
Way
say
for us
thank
to say
you
thank
for
you
coming to
for coming
us,
to
and thank
us,
you
and thank
for
you for
serving
serving
your
your
country or your
country or
community,
your
whatever it
community,
is that you're
whatever it is
doing.
that you're doing.
Oh, that is so good. I love
Yes.
that. That is such a great point. Thank you for sharing and letting them know that's an advantage for going with Amani House of Real Estate, Aisha Harrison.
Yes.
Hello. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on today to share your journey of what your life was like before you came to KBBU. Just the whole idea around becoming an entrepreneur, why you wanted to become one, and your journey in KBBU. And now you're still connected to us because every time someone comes through KBBU, you are family for life. Okay.
Hey,
That's
yes,
right.
and
That's
vice
right.
versa. Vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes. Let's go. We are connected forever until I take my last breath, that is, and hand that
yes,
over to my
ma'am.
successor. Okay. So, what we're going to do at this point, we're going to go ahead and close out. Is there any last words that you would like to share with the public about any part of entrepreneurship or about your story? Any last words that you would like to give them?
Do not let
Do
anyone
not let
stop your
anyone stop
journey.
your journey.
Woo!
Your dream
Your
is not
dream is not
everybody else's
everybody
dream.
else's dream.
Okay, so
Okay,
if you
so
have
if you
something in
have
mind,
something in
go
mind,
for it.
go
Don't
for it.
stop.
Don't
And you
stop.
have
And you
someone
have
right
someone
here,
right here,
Michelle, who will
Michelle, who
help
will
walk
help
you through
walk
that
you through that
process.
process.
Nothing is
Nothing is
impossible.
impossible.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. That is so cool, so awesome. But yes, if you are a entrepreneur, you're thinking about entrepreneurship, or if you've been in business forever and you are not where you really want to be, listen, you can go to our website. Again, that's www.kbbullc.com. You can also give us a call at 855-522-8552, or just connect with us on this video. Write a comment below. We will reach out to you and let us know how this Where Are They Now inspired you. And definitely we will connect with you and get you where you need to be. So again, thank you so much, Ish. I'm gonna call you Ish because that's what I call you.
That's perfectly fine. You know, that's what I answer to. So
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today to let the world know that you have had an amazing journey over the years by contacting KBBU, and also even before KBBU. I love your story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And to
thank you.
those of you out there, we appreciate you. So until next Tuesday, make sure that your notifications are set and you are subscribed to the KB Michelle Green YouTube channel and TV show. All right.